You ever heard that expression? People that got your company going, a person or institution? Well, we're going to talk about your ecosystem. I've always admired Google for that, if nothing else. I always say, boy, they got your company going. Well, it doesn't have to be just Google. If you are a business owner, you can do the same thing. Maybe not on the scale as Google, but I'm going to tell you how you can maximize your marketing prowess and you maximize your marketing money by creating your own ecosystem. So I put together an ecosystem for small businesses. You don't have to be Google or Facebook or Amazon. You can do it too. So hang on a second. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We'll be back. And I'm not busy. I'm just in another era. Lock the refrigerator door. Do not let negativity have another bite. Don't feed it. If we know that women are carrying the burden, they should be paid more. They should be given more flexible work hours. I may stop in some period, but as long as folks back the food, got to talk about it. All that glitters is not gold. And it simply means that just because something is shiny and pretty doesn't mean that it has value. But there's another side of this coin also that says that all this gold does not necessarily glitter. That means we have people out here right now among us who are doing some phenomenal things, but they don't get the glitter. Because to them, it's more about the purpose. It's more about the results. It's more about helping people. It's more about uplifting. And it's less about shining in the spotlight. So yes, there is some truth to the saying that all that glitters is not gold. But let's not forget also that there are some gold out here that's not glittering. And there are people. They're doing their thing. Yeah, we have some people in our audience right now who are golden. They're just doing great things. They're not doing it for the glory. They're not doing it. You don't see them on Facebook. You don't see them out there doing selfies. And I have nothing against people doing great things, helping homeless people and helping old ladies across the street. But I also have a lot of respect and admiration for people who do it outside of the spotlight. You'd be amazed how many people that don't even get on Facebook. They don't have an Instagram account. So who celebrates them? Who shouts them out? How do they get their shout out? They don't need it. They're just doing it because it's what they do. So I want to say thank you to all those people. I know some of you who are listening to the show today. Thank you for tuning in today. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Gatewood. My name is Robert Gatewood. I'm a business developer by trade. And you can find out more about me by going to, just Google me. Go to gatewoodmarketing.com. You can go to robertgatewood.com. You can go to marketingpulpit.com. So not hard to find. I'm also on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. But you can find me on the Marketing Pulpit. That's my brand of my company. Registered trademark. And I'm going to have some water. This is not coffee, by the way. That's good. Good stuff. All right, let's see. We're going to get into our topic here. We're going to talk about ecosystems. Now, ecosystem. Let's talk about building a marketing ecosystem. Now, if you're a business owner out here, we're always looking for ways to increase our profitability and our viability. Usually that starts with sales and marketing, advertising, and so forth. And of course, providing good service. I've done many shows on the three-legged stool of marketing: advertising, sales, and customer service. I also give a topic on the 10 commandments of marketing. Well, now we're going to talk about something a little deeper about synergizing these various components. we're going to talk about the ecosystem of marketing, because I look at companies like Google, and I like to use that expression. Man, they have you coming and going. No matter where you go, they're going to get some money out of you, no matter what. But you have to have a system. It doesn't happen nilly-willy, okay? An ecosystem is a conglomeration of various interconnected products and services that complement each other, provide enhanced value to the customer, and increase loyalty and lifetime value for the provider. Now, I pick on Google because, man, they are the poster child of ecosystem. I've been using the term ecosystem with Google before it became popular in the nomenclature. Let's think about it for a minute. Google has search, they have Gmail, they have YouTube, they have Google Drive, Google Map, Google Meet, Google Sheets, Google Ads, podcasts. They got it going. They got it coming and going. You get into Google, man, I'm telling you, that ecosystem kicks in, and you become a Google, whether you want to or not. You get in there, it's kind of hard to get out. And you may not want to, because they're providing pretty darn good service. You need that Google Drive. I had somebody yesterday trying to send me a big file. I'm telling you, let's go Dropbox. Well, I have Google. I thought, wait a minute. If you have Google, you don't have to sign up for Dropbox, because you already have Google Drive. You just haven't used it yet. That is an ecosystem. Now, what are the characteristics of an ecosystem? Now, the underlying objective is lifetime value. Lifetime value is how much money somebody's going to spend with you during the course of your engagement. Sometimes we round it off to a year. How much money that company, that person or that company is going to spend with you by doing business with you. So that's one of the objectives of the ecosystem, is to increase and enhance that lifetime value, to get you to spend more money. Break it down in more layman's terms. Another characteristic is that these different components, they are related, they're interrelated, and they support each other. Okay? Your ecosystem can't be doing chicken wings in the front door and hair in the back and tire rims out front and fiber courses in the basement. They have to be related, okay, to have a good ecosystem. Some people may say those items are related. The services, the individual services, or at least some of them, have to have what we call the freedom to abandon the market. Now, freedom to abandon the market is a term I've been throwing around for many years. That simply means that, look, you're not going to outprice me on this, because if I stop selling it tomorrow, I'm still going to be fine. I could literally give it away and be okay, because on this particular product or service, I have the freedom to abandon the market. Okay? And certain items can be provided at a loss. We call that a loss leader. And each product and service is essential to ecological process. Those are some of the characteristics of a ecosystem. Just keep lifetime value in mind. That is the overriding objective, to get you to spend more money. That's what lifetime value is. What is the value? We bring in a customer. When we're doing our marketing and advertising, there's two acronyms we need to be aware of at all times. First one is cost per acquisition, how much it costs to get the customer. The other one is lifetime value. That's LTV. Now, the novice or the small companies, many of them, they're more, they might be familiar with the cost per acquisition, the CPA. They know they got to spend money to get money, but they're not looking at the long game when it comes to lifetime value. Too many small companies think they got to make that money right away. And they also think they got to make it on one or two products, when you're not considering the possibilities of an ecosystem. Let's talk about some of the functions of a successful business and marketing ecosystem. First of all, you have to identify the needs and wants of your customers. That's marketing 101. Number two, you offer products and services to satisfy those needs and wants. Marketing 101 again. Engage in a customer acquisition effort based on those needs and wants. We haven't said anything groundbreaking yet. And of course, engage in an aggressive branding effort at all times. So you're saying to myself, well, shoot, I do those things on a regular. Well, this is where we start to deviate and start getting into the ecosystem. And you offer additional products and services as the additional needs and wants of that group of people that you have brought in are identified. As you identify additional needs and wants, you offer additional products. Okay. Then you interconnect the independent products and services so that they become interdependent components of a larger system. Let's pick on Google. You have Gmail. You have YouTube. You have Google Drive. They are interconnected. They use your Gmail account, that email address, as your username. Okay. Now, what you want to do to help foster this system, you want to build in disincentives for discontinuing any of the services. In other words, you want to make it uncomfortable at the minimum for discontinuing any of the services in this process. And you want to incentivize adding additional services. Let me give you an example. Let's just say, let me take a layman's ecosystem right now. If you're a baker and you selling cakes, and every other person walks in the door, they want pies. Okay, you add pies. And then all of a sudden you realize there are certain people that are allergic to gluten. And you say, okay, well, now I'm going to make a gluten-free pie. But all of a sudden you realize there are other products that people who are allergic to gluten might need. As you start to build your base, you offer a gluten-free turkey dressing. You offer a gluten-free this or that. You start to build this ecosystem, and they all support each other. You offering cakes. Now, somebody wants to get married. Now you offer wedding cakes. Well, the wedding cakes, you'd have a wedding now. These people that need weddings, they also need rental equipment. They need to rent the chairs. They need to rent the train, the whatever the people use. You have this ecosystem that you start to build. Now, some things just won't fit into the system, either for cost, convenience, the supply chain, or whatever. You have to make this system so that it works. Okay, now here's another pivotal component of this system, building this system. Offer a low threshold to get in. Now, this is a fatal mistake for many small companies. Your threshold to getting into your system is too high. You've got this product that you're trying to sell, and darn thing's $1,000. And most people, I know I'm not. If I don't know you, I'm not going to give you $1,000. I've got to get to know you a little better. I mean, you got to date first before I jump in the sack. In other words, you got to lower the threshold. Let's use Google again for an example. What does Google do? They give you a free Gmail account. You think they're doing that because they're Santa Claus? What does Facebook do? They give you a free profile. Woohoo! They're creating an ecosystem. That's what they're doing. That free item, or almost free, we call that a loss leader. I use my company as an example. We have an ecosystem. We have our marketing services. We have our web services. Our loss leader is our domains. We have domains only $9.99, some of the lowest in the industry. Because that is a low threshold way to get you into the system. Once you get at the domain, you got to have a hosting account if you have a website. Once you got a website, you got to have an SSL certificate. All this hacking going on, you got to have some website security. We have a system where you can build your own website with our website builder. Now you got to market this website. Now you call Gatewood Marketing. You can build your own system. Okay, this is called a marketing ecosystem. And here's another component. You have to be engaging in a cross-selling and upselling effort at all times. And we don't necessarily mean a hard sell. Sometimes it's just a matter of letting people know that these services are available by email, through social media, workshops. Just nurture them along. And of course, you got to provide excellent service at all times. Now, let's just say you want to start your ecosystem today. Let me tell you, this is what you can do, okay? You're a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. It doesn't matter. Now, I can't sit here and I'm not going to sit here and try to tell everybody in every industry, in every business, how to build an ecosystem. But I'm going to give you some basics on what you can do, okay? Take stock of all the items that you offer right now. When I say items, I'm also talking about services. Think about all of the services you offer. And ask yourself, are any of these services that are not essential to this ecological process that we're trying to build? You might just put them aside for a minute. I'm not necessarily saying you got to stop doing it, but we're trying to build a system here, okay? Do they support the greater mission that's going to help you enhance your lifetime value? Sometimes you have some products that just get in the way of this process. They need to go. Like we used to do resume service. That was in the way. That didn't help me one bit. I'm telling you. It just was in the way. We offer services right now that I don't even want to do, like business plans. I mean, business plans give me my hairline used to be right here till I started doing business plans. But they were a pivotal part of this ecological process. So we don't necessarily do them ourselves. We might outsource it. Sometimes you have to do that. When you look at the process, that wheel, of what it takes to get that ecosystem going, some things you have to do in-house. Some you may have to outsource. Some service you offer you might have to get rid of. Some items you have to give away. It's part of that process. Now ask yourself, are these services interdependent? Or do they lock? Or one going to lead to the other? Then I want you to do this. You got to find yourself a lost leader. What service can you almost give away to get people into the system? It could be a consultation. It could be, like I said, free, something that you don't mind. You got a lot of, doesn't cost you a lot of money. Because you got to be thinking long-term, lifetime value. Don't worry about that one little item you're giving away. You're going to get that back 20 times over. And the last thing I want you to be doing at all times is investing in your brand. This success of this process depends on you having a strong brand that people can trust.